What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Black Republican Theory. My name is Terry, your host. Thank you for tuning in, especially to the loyal Shea Butter Republicans. So on today's show, I actually want to talk about the state of the economy and how it is having an effect on families. So it is official that we have experienced two consecutive quarters of economic contraction where growth has slowed down and has gone in the negative. I think the official number is by negative 0.9%. And so I'm just going to round that up and say negative 1%. That's a huge number. Well, it's not a super huge number, but it's a huge number in terms of how developed we are as a society, and that we are the largest economy and one of the more advanced economies and societies in the world. That being said, we will only grow by like 1%, 2%, 3% at, year over year in terms of GDP growth. What is happening is that you have a supply chain crisis, you have inflation, and all of that, and then you have a worker shortage, and that is really impacting the bottom lines of businesses. So if you are a person that owns a small company, like let's just say a property management business, and it takes money to have your car, have the websites to go ahead and show off your properties, etc. All that takes money, and those costs go up. If you're going over to go cut grass, if you're going to go provide any types of services, memberships, your costs are going up. So you're going to have to parlay those costs onto your customers, because unless you're operating on small margins intentionally out of the goodness of your heart, then you got to make money and you got to make a profit. And at minimum, I always aim for about a 10 to 20% profit. And so when we're looking at these businesses and we see inflation, another thing we see inflation that's happening is eating into their bottom lines, but it's also a major issue is that there are big companies who are hiking up prices in order to make more money, and they're blaming it on inflation. Now, is that wrong? Yes. Is that like the majority of companies? I don't think it's the majority of companies. I think the majority, there's probably a small amount of basic companies doing that. The majority of companies are actually welcome to Baltimore City, where people don't move out of the way for ambulance. Like, that's what's happening over, and that's why the ambo has, somebody wasn't moving out the way. Anyways, the majority of companies, they are setting their prices in response to others. And so that's why you have cases of shrinkflation, where the company, they know that their consumers can only pay a certain amount. They know that. They know that there's a certain point where there's no more price elasticity on an item, and so a person will not be able to pay over a certain amount. So they say, you know what, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to just shrink the size of the product and still offer it. So that that Grande Pike Place or Grande Blonde Roast that you're getting, we made the cup smaller, or we raised the price. Or that cereal that you're buying, we made the box smaller by 1 or 2 ounces, and you're just gonna have to deal with it if you really want that product. So that's happening. You also have the government that, in my opinion, has just been running this country into the ground with Democratic leadership, particularly that of Joseph R. Biden Jr., in which he and his band of lunatics have decided that we're going to support Ukraine at any cost. And the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, and his wife, they're up there posing for Vogue. I have never seen a wartime president, a wartime official take time out of their schedules if they're under attack to then go take a picture in an international magazine that's not even based in their home country. This man is truly an actor. I mean, he was an actor before he even got into office. He's truly an actor, and he's still just pretending to be president and pretending to be into opposition of the things that are happening in his country. And if you think I'm lying, look at how he's intentionally losing this war. He's intentionally going there and committing all sorts of human rights and civil rights and political rights abuses in Ukraine, and he's blaming it on anyone else in the international community instead of taking responsibility as the president of the country. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous and ridiculous. So then we look at, you give $50 billion to Ukraine, okay? A country that has nothing to do with America, has nothing to do with global interests in regards to America. And we say, okay, our $50 billion went over there. Their families here in the United States struggling right now. Struggling. But we got money to send over there. Well, the impact that it has is that the families over here, daycare, the cost of daycare has gone up. The cost of daycare has gone up from maybe $200 a week, if you're lucky to find a place like that, to about $285 a week. And that's not including meals for your child. And so now you got to provide lunch and meals to the daycares for your child, which typically was not required beforehand, because the daycares, they're facing higher rents, they're facing higher costs, they're facing trouble as well. And so, like I said, they have to pass their costs on to their customers. And if you're a parent who needs your child in daycare, you're a customer, okay? And so then you have the issue of being able to afford your rent or your taxes to your home, because as the inflation is going up and the supply and demand of houses, you have people we have an undersupply of houses right now, meaning that the price point of which people are offering their homes for sale is just out of this freaking world. I mean, you got houses selling for $500,000 and $600,000 that are only worth $300,000 and $400,000, right? And so if that's happening in your neighborhood, and you've been a long-time resident in your neighborhood, or a homeowner in your neighborhood, you own your home, you're now being and somebody buys the other house, your local tax authority is going to count that house as a comparable sale to yours, okay? That's how that works. And so when they count that as a comparable sale, well, you're going to be tail out. You're going to be tail out because, quite frankly, your property taxes are going to go up as well, all right? Based on that. Now, the next thing is that was going to reflect in your bottom line as a homeowner, as a property owner. Anyways, so it's affecting families in all sorts of ways, and I can't wait until 2024 to go ahead and get Nikki Haley in there as president. Well, hold on for a second. Hi, do you still have blonde roast?
No, we do not.
Okay, could I have a grande pike place, please?
All right, anything else?
No ma'am, that's it.
All right, you're 13.
All right, thank you.
welcome.
Alrighty. And so, and see, look, just as quick as that, the price of the coffee actually went up. Okay, it used to be $2.95. It's now $3.13 for a cup. And so, anyways, your costs are going to be passed on. You have higher taxes, you have higher rent, you have higher food expenses, operating costs, and I'm going to do in the next video, I'm going to talk about how that's impacting some of these businesses in the city of Baltimore. All right, thank you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.